started. This is over velocity and speed. Speed is the rate of change of your distance, the rate of change of your distance. In other words, speed is the distance moved per unit of time. Where's my time at? I don't have time. Per unit of time. Okay? It tells us how fast or how slow an object is moving. How fast or how slow an object is moving. Velocity, on the other hand, remember that this is a scalar quantity because we don't have direction here, right? Velocity is the rate of change of displacement. Displacement. Okay? It is a speed specified in a direction. It is a speed specified in a direction. Speed specified in a direction. So it's speed plus direction. So this makes it a vector quantity. So distance is scalar. Displacement, or I'm sorry, speed, velocity is a vector quantity, right? Because you care about the direction. Okay. Here are the equations for distance and displacement. They're very, very similar. Speed is s, distance is d, and t is time. Displacement in the velocity equation is called s because the Latin spatium, for how much space is between. But it's worth noting that you can actually, for the purposes of most physics classes, and my class especially later on, you can write velocity is distance over time as long as you move in a straight line. Okay, if you don't turn, speed and velocity equal the same thing. Okay, with no turn. Okay, now down here we're going to show you how to solve some problems using speed and distance. But let's look at the units. So you see kilometers, that's a unit of distance, right? Or displacement, but if they're in a straight line, remember they can be the same. Distance and displacement can be the same in a straight line. Meters per second is speed, but it can be velocity in a straight line. Okay, so this slash v is if you're in a straight line. Okay, minutes is time, hours is time. Remember, to get down, we usually are going to use either hours or seconds. We're really not going to use minutes too much. So if you're in minutes, you either need to convert to hours by dividing by 60 or to seconds by timesing by 60, okay? Okay, kilometers per hour west, so this is a distance over time in a direction, so it's speed with direction, velocity. Okay, seconds is time, kilometers per hour is speed or velocity in a straight line. Meters, obviously, is distance or your displacement. We can use d as long as we're going in a straight line. 1.5 seconds better be time. Meters per second south, velocity, distance over time. Meters per second is speed or velocity in a straight line. M for meters is distance. Kilometers per hour east better be velocity. 150 miles per hour is speed or velocity in a straight line. So you can't be doing none of this, right? Can't be turning. No turning. All right, none of that. Okay. 100 miles per hour north is velocity. 75 feet is distance. Okay, so let's practice doing this real quick. What is the speed? So when I do that, speed, what's the symbol for speed? This is how you get points. Okay, you put an S over that. Since it's what is a question mark? What equals speed of a sailboat traveling 100 meters? What did we say meters was? Meters was distance, right? So that's put a D over that. And 120 seconds. So seconds is time, so put a T over it. Okay. Now we're going to look at our unknown. What's our unknown? So we're going to label all of our givens here. Our givens are, what were we given? What numbers were we given? Distance, and we're also given time equals 100 meters for that, and time was 120 seconds. We're going to take a pause there. We're going to move on to the next one so we can practice the same thing, okay? If a cyclist in the Tour de France traveled southwest at a distance of 112,250 meters, so this is a displacement, right, because it gave us a direction, in 1 hour, hour is time, what would be the velocity? So velocity and a what is a question mark, so we don't know what the velocity is, right? So let's list our givens. Our givens were distance or displacement, so write that out, 250 meters, and we're probably going to have to convert that to kilometers, so we don't have meters per hour, we have kilometers per hour, right? What else were we given? We were given 1 hour, so time is 1 hour, right? And what was our unknown? What is the velocity, right? So velocity equals question mark. It's ugly. Velocity equals question mark. Okay, let's move on to the next one. You try it. You can pause and kind of look at it and see if you can figure this one out. Just the givens and the unknown, the underlining, the labeling. Okay, let's see now. 65 miles per hour. So that's miles per hour is this unit. Miles per hour. So that's a distance over a time, right? So guess what? This is a speed, right? Or a velocity. You can also put velocity. It might be easier just to use V for this class. She has to drive to Tucson, which is 275 miles away. Miles is a unit of distance, so put a D over that. How long? Long is a amount of time, right? How long will it take her to get there? So we don't know the time, right? So let's list our givens. You try it. What numbers were we given? Put the symbols and the numbers there. Try it. Pause it and try it. Think about it. All right, 65 miles per hour was what? This was our velocity. Miles per hour. That right? Miles per hour. Okay, what else were we given? 275 miles away is a distance. Okay, and what else? Nothing, right? So what was our unknown? How long is time equals what? Okay, let's go down here. What is the distance? So what distance, question mark, is what equals our distance? Well, a car traveling 65 kilometers per hour, so that's a distance over a time. So that's what? Velocity, oh, since it's north especially, right? In 3 hours, that's a time, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and list our givens here. Try it in your head. Our givens, what numbers were given? We were given velocity of 65 kilometers per hour. And what else were we given? Time equals 3 hours. Okay, what was our unknown? Distance, right? Distance. Okay, now, we've done a really good job at identifying those. We get almost half the credit for doing that. That's awesome. You're already halfway there. Okay, so we'll go here. Let's see. So we want to have this in kilometers. We said, how do we get to kilometers for meters? We go 1, 2, 3 to the right, or left, I mean, 1, 2, 3. So that's 12.25 meters, right? So let's change this to 12.25 meters. Or kilometers, rather, okay? 12.25 kilometers. Okay. Our equation, what was our equation for velocity or speed, right? So let's look back up here. Velocity is displacement over time. So let's write that out. Velocity is displacement over time. Okay, now let's substitute, right? That means just plug in. This S in guess means plug in. So V equals, what was our displacement? 12.25 divided by our time. This is kilometers. And our time was how many hours? 1 hour. That's pretty easy math, right? There's 12.25 divided by 1, put it in your calculator, and then solve over here. We get 12.25 kilometers per hour. You're done with that. Look at that. So you could do this step easily without even having to think. You're just plugging in these values. Where did I get the displacement from? I got my displacement right here and plugged it into that guy. And then look, it went right there. Where did I get my time from? Right here. It went down there, and then guess what? Here it is. Easy, right? Let's try it down here real quick. Hey, you try. What's the equation for time? Well, it turns out that if we move this equation around, how do I get time out of the bottom here? How do I get time? It's being divided. What's the opposite of divide? You multiply time. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. Multiply time on this side. Okay, so let's see. This is the last one we're going to do for right now. Okay, so let's write the original equation. Velocity is displacement over time. Multiply by t to get t out of the bottom. And you get v times t equals distance. And now we need to get t by itself. So what's the opposite of times v? Divide by v. So you end up with an equation. Time equals displacement over velocity. So if we just divide those, we can get it. So let's substitute that. What was our displacement? Our distance. 275 miles, right? Okay, let's divide it by v. What was our v? 65 miles per hour. And we're going to be left with hours. These are going to cancel out. Let's get our trusty dusty calculator. And let's go 275 divided by 65, and we get solve 4.23 hours. So about 4.5 hours. Cool or what? Okay, so try that on the next ones in the coming days. Good luck.